人造人間17号どちらが強いか決着をつけようそして我が名は人造人間18号第7宇宙の女神
Alright everybody, what is going on? We are hopping in here to the showcase for the new 17 and 18 that are out here on Global. So I am cheating. I'm cheating a little bit probably with the title. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to title this, but notice that my androids are not rainbowed. I did go back into the banner a little bit and get them, you know, the 2 dupes that I like to do. I just do that off camera now, it's easier. It actually didn't take me that bad. I think it was 300 more stones after I ended the stream, and actually, may not have even been 300. Might have been around. No, I think it, so. I can actually just show you guys. I'll show you later, maybe at the end of the video if I remember. But it was like the next multi after I ended stream. I got another copy, and then I did like a few more after that, and then I got another one. So it wasn't too bad. I did go full dodge on them. You know, it is what it is. This unit defensively is just not great. Like, how do I describe it? Okay, so like, they're, I don't even know if I want to call them decent after they super attack, but they get like all their defense on super attack. But either way, this unit is just like not super solid defensively. Kind of some quirky things about them. They need a Goku on rotation to get like their full buffs, but they have android links, and that's like where all their power comes from. And that's what I wanted to talk about real quick, is that I have my copy here at 79% level 10 links, but we do have a rainbowed copy here at like level 5 links. So, and they went like full additional, it looks like. Again, it doesn't really matter here, but don't be surprised if I still call this video like, you know, rainbow level 10 links, or I might say rainbow and level 10 links. I like to do that sometimes, because, I mean, it's not a lie to say that we have a rainbowed 17 and 18 and a level 10 link 17 and 18, so I can do that. So, by the way, like, dude, they did not put any effort into that Goku sprite. Look at that dude's fist. That is a Roblox fist, alright. So here they are at 255k defense. Sorry about the cord there. So they're at 255k defense here. They get 50% on in their passive whenever they super attack, and then they also have their super attack effect. They also get 35% damage reduction whenever they attack in their passive. But then they have their 2 super attack effects. Another reason that you need a Goku on rotation to get. This is a very powerful effect. It's a massive, they massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn, and then they give all allies attack and defense 35% for 2 turns. So for themselves, they get 135% defense here, in addition to the 50% that they get here. So we can kind of see their defense, right, real quick, is just, if I pull up the calculator just real quick. There we go. So 255, 725, we're going to multiply by 1.5 for their passive. Oh, also remember that their defense is going to go up a little bit after we get key spheres. If we're able to get 7 key spheres, they do give an extra 18% defense. Let's actually do that first. The way I have this team set up, just another thing, I'm trying to get like all this information out. But I did bring 3 Gokus here. The idea is to float them so that we always have a Goku on rotation, and then I have the 17s, and then like this 17 right here, and then this LR 17, 18, and 16 to link with them. That way they're getting their good android links activated, but then we also have a Goku on rotation to activate the extra part of their passive, which is right down here. You see this? This bullet point right here is really good. It gives us a scouter, which we can see right there in slot 1, if there's a Goku on rotation. So by building a team with 3 Gokus like this, I don't really have to worry about their links, because that's kind of like the weakness with this character, is that they want to have their android links active, but you want to have a Goku on rotation with them. So in order to accomplish that, I brought 3 Gokus here. We're going to float them. This one's a support unit, and then these 2 are just, like, solid. You know, they share tournament of power with all of these guys, which is an extra 3 key and 5% attack, or no, 3 key and 7% attack and defense, I believe is what it is. Tournament of power, yeah. So that's just an extra nice defensive link that they have there. So back over to my math. Let's talk about this. So 255, 725. They get 50% from their passive. Oh wait, no. We need to get the key spheres, dude. I'm turning into Porky Pig a little bit here. Okay, let's go and grab these. It doesn't really matter what they do. Now we need 7 key spheres here in order to get their extra support, which we can get right there. So notice 255, 725. Let's grab these. Notice our stats went up, and now we're at 268, 336. It's not going to be a lot of extra support, but I believe it also gives them a high chance to crit with 7 key spheres. We can see that, where is it? Right here. Yeah, so extra 50% attack, high chance to crit with 7 or more key spheres. And then down here with 7 or more key spheres, they give this extra support. So that's what we got going on. So back over here to our little calc. 268, 336, multiplied by 1.5 in their passive, and then I did mention right here, again, their unit super attack, it gives them 100% attack and defense. That's what massively raised attack is. We can see that right here. But then it also gives 35%, so we take this, we multiply by 2.35, and that's what their defense is going to be after one super attack here with the unit super. If they get any additionals, obviously, it'll go up a little bit more, because down here they do give like an extra 50%, so if we divide out the 2.35, and then multiply by 2.85, that's what it would be with an additional super attack with 35% damage reduction. So post-super attack, they can be pretty decent here if you're able to get the unit super attacks. So let's go ahead, grab that, and see how we do here. Sorry, that was 6 minutes of exposition just to get into this showcase, but you guys know how it is. I'll start cutting after this once we start getting their attack stats rolling, and we'll take a look at them. So let me know if you guys summoned for the 17 and 18. I can't really condone summoning for them, but, you know, potentially, we'll see. This banner should still be up whenever we learn who Part 2 is for the 9th anniversary on JP. And potentially, this unit could gain a lot of value. We will see. One nice thing is that STRUI Goku did EZA over on JP, so you know, that'll be coming to global at some point, probably in July, or maybe like the end of June is when we'll see that. I didn't see their attack stat. I'm sorry. I was blabbering away. I missed their attack stat. Well, can we see what it was? 7.49 was million was their attack stat there. Okay. But yeah, STRUI will EZA, and he's a pretty solid EZA. So that definitely does help out this character. The unfortunate thing about this character is that pretty much all of the hard fights in the game right now on global are AoE fights or based around AoEs, and this unit is just going to get clobbered by those, which is kind of why I also gave them a full dodge build, is because I think they could potentially maybe, I don't want to say compete in there, but like you could maybe run them if you could just get a couple lucky dodges, so let's go ahead and do this. Again, we do have support here from 17. They're also activating like most of the links. Remember that this friend is not full level 10 links, but they are getting some buffs here. The androids are units that you want to link level. You know, before the link level update, pretty much all of these links just gave key, and then after they updated, you know, these things give a ton of extra support, so these characters are ones that you do want to be link leveling. You're missing out on a ton of stats if you are not link leveling these guys, so be sure you're doing that. We can see the friend here is at 365k defense. Again, remember that we have the 35% buff from their super attack effect active from the last turn from their unit super attack. We're getting 60% support from this guy, and then I believe this UI Goku gives 40? 30. He gives 30% attack and defense, so we're getting a lot of support here. This is where it starts getting kind of complicated to calculate like their passive and everything like that, so I'm not even like going to attempt to at the moment. Let me see if I can grab, I don't know what I want to get. These, I guess. Let's see what this does. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get 7 orbs, unfortunately. Even though I think we, what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it. If we could get the physical orbs right here, that actually would be 7 orbs. But alas, we cannot select our orb pathings. Same thing over here. I think if we could get the blue, that might also be 7. But for sure the yellow would be. Let's grab those. So we're going to miss out on this turn the extra 50% chance to crit and the extra 50% attack from the passive. And then we're also going to be missing out on the extra key +1 and attack +17% and defense +18% is what we're going to be missing out on here. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. We are still going to get the unit super attack, which will be good here. So, you know, these unit super attacks can really help out characters that don't have super attack effects. Remember that the way these unit super attack effects work is that they will add into the super attack effect phase. So, like, a character like the 23rd World Tournament Goku, who doesn't have a super attack effect phase buff, he's going to be getting a direct multiplicative buff from these. Oh, we didn't even get it because 17, like, double super here or something. Okay. That's fine. But yeah, those are direct multiplicative buffs for those characters because they don't have one. So characters maybe like Turles can eat off of this. This STR UI Goku right now on Global does not have an attack and defense buff on his super attack, so he's getting a benefit from it. Characters like that. Now, if you do have a character that is getting defense in those, remember how earlier I added it in and I told you guys that this was 135% for themselves right here? Like you add these two together. For themselves, it kind of works the same way. So if you have another unit that's getting like 50% on super attack, well, essentially they're getting 85%, just 35% of it would already be active. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit like difficult if you're first learning the concept, but once you kind of grasp the idea, it's not really like difficult to understand. It's just you know, that's kind of how everything is, right? Like, it sounds really complicated at first, but once you kind of wrap your head around it, it's not too bad. That's how I would describe, like, the, just calcs in general in Dokkan, is each thing is happening in its own phase, and you have to know what's active and what's not, and what you have to back out, and what's, like, multiplicative and what's not. That's where you can get in trouble with Dokkan math, is, you know, like, multiplying an effect when it's not, like, actually multiplicative, or when there's already that same multiplicative effect active, and then you're double counting it. It gets a little bit complicated, but anyway, 17 and 18 here. They're looking pretty decent. I would say probably the level... We'll see what mine is looking like with level 10 links, with the extra support from the, you know, physical UI whenever it gets back over onto this rotation. Let's see, right now they are at a 7.49 million attack stat. That's that same number that we saw last turn, which does make sense because we don't have any extra support here. This is pretty much the exact same turn that we had last time. We have the same links active, so that's why we saw the exact same number there. And we dodged. There's my 30 dodge coming in. We dodged the super attack. Very nice. And then we're at double digits from normals, so we will definitely take that. Oh, I also just realized that I forgot to switch off of Rosés, so we're going to have to do that here in a second. But yeah, there we go. 17 and 18, they're definitely not like the craziest ever, but they're a pretty solid unit. No need to pop that active skill, we're not doing a showcase for him right now. Okay, so let's start attacking Zamasu like I was supposed to. So here they are again at 338, 293. This is actually probably a little bit lower for them because we don't have their support, this guy's support active this time. But remember that we do still have their 2-turn support active. We can actually get 7 orbs this time. That's very nice. Remember that 17 and 18 do create rainbow key spheres for the first 4 turns. So this is the last turn that this one right here will be creating rainbow key spheres. Essentially, the way you can think about that is their first 2 rotations that they appear, they will be creating rainbow key spheres, even if you float them off. So the first 2 times you see them, they will create rainbow key spheres as long as their entrance animation is active, which is just if there's another Universe 7 category ally on the team. So if you're running their team, they're just going to always have that, right? But not that you... I don't know that you're really ever going to be running their team, but potentially if there's like a mission or like a Super Battle Road thing or, you know, like something, right? You could have to run these teams. That's kind of the reason why I still, like, summon on every banner these days. Oh, excuse me. Back whenever, like, Pikkon and Janemba came out, I can't remember when that was, like 2020, I think. I skipped a few banners back then, and then they dropped, like, the Legendary Goku event. And they added a bunch of missions to it for, like, Corroded Body and Mind and Otherworld Warriors and stuff like that. And I just didn't have the leaders for it because I had skipped a few banners. I was like, I'm just not summoning on Janemba. I'm not, like, summoning for him. He's trash. But then I wasn't able to beat that mission for a really long time on Global just because I couldn't form a competent lead. Or, like, I couldn't form a competent team because Janemba, for the longest time, was the only leader for the category. And, like, the only other way to get that mission done was, like, use, like, an STR Rosé team or something, and it just, like, wasn't working well. Also, the cord, there we go. Okay, 1 second. But yeah, it was, like, you know, pre-Ginyu, pre-Metal Cooler team, like, Easy A. I mean, it's, like, the only leaders were Janemba, and then you could try to run, like, an extreme class lead, like, with STR Rosé, who wasn't good in there. Because this was before his Easy A, and then there was, like, the Masked Saiyan. And Corroded Body and Mind has just always been a really terrible category. Okay, so here we go. We were at 373, 601 right here. We're getting support from these guys because they are, they do support androids, correct? Like 40%? Hello? Oh, right here. 50%. So they're getting 50% attack and defense support from them, and then they're getting 30% from him. So there we go. And then we do have the unit super active from last turn, so that's also helping. The only things that we're missing out on are Twin Terrors and the Innocents, so we got a pretty good roll right here with their links and everything like that. Let's grab those. Let's go ahead and grab the attack buff right here, and let's see if their attack stat jumps up or not. Again, I think this is like I don't know if I want to say the intended way, but to me, this seems like the way that these guys are intended to be ran, is you just kind of get a slot 1 android unit next to them, and I think the LR androids can fulfill that role. This is a pretty solid unit. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. But what was I saying? Oh, they're pretty... Oh, come on, man. But they're a pretty solid slot 1 character right there. 8.45 million, by the way. I believe that's the highest attack stat that we've seen in the videos, so that's pretty good. But they're competent enough with their dodge that they can hold down slot 1 in a lot of fights, just because we have a lot of int bosses right now. I don't know about the new fights over on JP, but at least with the current fights on Global, and, you know, that's really what we should be judging these guys around, I guess, is like the Worldwide Download Celebration, because they were the first TUR after the Worldwide Celebration, so, judging them around, like, Omega and Fusion Zamasu, I think, is fair for them. But yeah, like 17 in some situations could go in slot 1 if you've taken some damage, or, you know, it just depends. But he can go in slot 1 in some fights, and then maybe towards, like, the end of the fight, like, if you were going against Fusion Zamasu, you know, like, you could have this unit, and, like, you can run it just like I've been running it, and you can float these guys, and the UI Gokus have very low pressure, they can just dodge, and, they're only gonna have to dodge a few attacks, probably, and then they're gonna have the added buff from this unit, right, so it's gonna work out. And then once maybe you get to the physical phase, potentially you switch the UI Gokus, especially after this guy's EZ8, he can go in slot 1 against, like, physical Fusion Zamasu pretty easily. You hope that he goes off and gets you a ton of attacks, and then you still have your Android links active, because this will be the first turn that you're floating him off, and then you just hope that you finish off Zamasu quickly, and that you don't get supered, I think would be the play, so... but we'll see, you know, I'll give it a shot. It's gonna be tough, again, because this guy hasn't EZ8 yet on Global, but I'll attempt it. I don't know if that'll come out today or not. It's gonna be Friday for you guys whenever you see this, so... We'll see. We'll see if I get a video out maybe that evening. We'll see how I'm feeling. This is probably going to be the only video that I record tonight. I'm still kind of recovering my sinuses a little bit. And then also the cord is giving us a lot of issues, which is just annoying. So I don't really want to deal with that if that's going to keep being a problem. That's been a problem the past couple of days. So I need to maybe mess with the wires a little bit. Or, you know, I need to start getting the ice pack back out. It's been a while since I've had to bust out the ice pack and put it on there. But it really seriously does help. If you're curious, I use a Elgato HD 60X. And I don't know that I can recommend it to anybody out there if you're an aspiring content creator. This thing overheats and disconnects, like, really easily. I always, like, joke and say, like, oh, it's the cord, but it's rarely the cord. It's just the Elgato, like, just doesn't work. So, and there's, like, no software updates or hardware, like, there's no fixes to it. It's just like, it'll work or it won't. Oh, gee, thanks. Okay. Okay, Goku, if you want to dodge. Oh, excuse me. That actually worked out perfectly, so now we can use their active skill. Now, the condition on their active skill is it can be activated when HP is 78% or less, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, and you can use it up to 8 times. Not sure where you're going to be doing that. Maybe burst mode? Maybe? And all it does is change tech key spheres to int. That is all it does. But let's go ahead and play it here because it is their showcase, and then we'll probably get this last attack stat and then move into the breakdown.
俺たち永久エネルギー式人造人間の利点を生かすには絶対疲れない。これってかなり有利だよな。そうだったね。ガンガン飛ばしていくよ。
Man, they keep releasing these units with, like, really good OSTs and, like, animations and stuff like that. Well, their animations are okay, but, like, I don't know, their OST is really good. Like, their intro is really good. I really love that moment from the Tournament of Power where 17, like, just starts playing into the villain role, kind of, right? And then, like, 18's just like, alright, let's just, like, they're just here to have fun, right? Like, the androids, like, you know how it is. Like, they're just, like, 17 had just really good on-screen presence, is what I would call it, right? So remember that they don't really get any buffs from getting int key spheres. So, like, their active skill doesn't do anything other than play this cool OST. But, you know, that's okay. We'll take it. Again, let's go ahead and grab these right here. Again, this will probably be the last rotation that we get in the video for them. We'll see how they do, and then we will move into the breakdown. So let me know what you guys think about 17 and 18. I'm not sure where exactly I would rank them in a tier list, just because you guys kind of know how I feel, right? Like, I think that there's, like, a cream of the crop set of units that are just, like, really good and worth running, and then there's just, like, a huge pool of slot 2 units, right? Like, that's kind of just the way things are in Dokkan right now. So we have, like, the good units that I like and are really awesome, and I think each one of them individually could be, like, the top unit in the game, and then we just have, like, these other units that maybe could be good, maybe could be bad, mostly need things to go their way, or on pretty weak teams, you know, like, I think Android 21 is somewhere in the middle of, like, the good units and the mid units, but, you know, that's just, it is what it is. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and move into the breakdown now. That's 17 and 18 again. Mine's at 79% level 10 links. Then we had the friend here rainbowed at like level 4 to 5 links. So let's go ahead and move into the breakdown. All right, this is Intense Struggle for Survival, Android 17 and 18. Their leader skill is Tournament Participants or Siblings Bond, category key 3, HP attack and defense 170%. The Tournament Participants category is pretty decent. I would say the only thing that really restricts this leader skill right here is that this unit needs, like, Gokus, and then they need androids, right? They need androids for their links, and then they need Goku for the unit super attack and the scouters. So it's going to limit your team building quite a bit, but I would say that this leader skill is pretty broad. It does encompass a lot of characters, so potentially maybe for a burst mode or just, like, category missions in the future, you could get some use out of this leader skill. And then they give the extra 30% to characters who are reps of Universe 7 or joined forces. So that's going to encompass, like, all of your joined forces android units. That's going to encompass, you know, all of your, you know, Tournament of Power reps of Universe 7, right? So, and then a lot of the other Universal Survival Saga units are also joined forces units. So this is gonna be a pretty broad leader skill. It's decent. I will say that. Their normal 12 key super attack, they greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, 50% buffs. That's what those are. And then their unit super attack, this is where, like, a lot of their value comes from, and again, it is activated whenever you have a Goku on the team, or on the turn. So I was using the UI Gokus in this example, and it was working out pretty well, so let me know which Gokus you guys are using. 23rd World Tournament Goku is on this team, he's on tournament participants, but remember that if he doesn't have, like, a revival unit to go with him, he can kind of get washed pretty easily, unless you get good luck with his own revive and his own guard. So that's just something to keep in mind there. I think the UI Gokus, despite them being old, are your safest bet. Remember, STR UI Goku did recently Easy A on JP, so that definitely does help out. And potentially, the AGL UI Goku might be Easy A-ing as well. Potentially. We don't know yet. But if the pattern holds true, he should be Easy A-ing as well. And that would really help these guys out, because it would give you 2 solid, you know, 70+% chance to dodge units. Modern, powerful 9th anniversary units that activate this condition, so that's good. And then it is really powerful. It's 100% attack and defense, which is basically like double supering with your normal 12 key, and then it also gives the 35% attack and defense buff for all allies for 2 turns. So, it's even more than a double super for them. Like it's a double super plus a little bit extra, you know, like Shinron, just, and plus a little extra, you know. Let's see, their passive skill, Principles of 17 and 18, they activate their entrance animation once only and randomly change key spheres of a certain type other than int to rainbow key spheres for 4 turns. Again, that's going to essentially be 2 rotations, even if you float them. So if you get them on turn 1, and you float them off, they will also rainbow orb change on turn 4, but if you keep them on rotation, then the rainbow orb change on turn 3, but that's it. And then it's activated when there is another Reps of Universe 7 category ally on the team upon the character's entry turn. And then start a turn, they get attack plus 170%, and then defense plus 180%. I mean, this isn't going to matter much, but I'm glad that the higher percentage is the defense. Again, it doesn't matter too much, but it is what it is. They get an additional attack and defense plus 50% and 35% damage reduction when performing a super attack. Some people say, like, if this was just start a turn, they would be a lot better. And I don't know if that's true. A lot of the times in this video, we had a lot of support around them, and like the highest we were kind of seeing was like what, about 350k at the start of turn, was like the absolute pinnacle of what we were seeing. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, 350k at the start of turn with 35% damage reduction is not doing a ton. It would help cut down some damage from the AoEs, but like in a lot of fights, it's just not gonna do a whole lot for you, especially as events get harder and harder. Like this should have been like, I don't know, like 70, like 35% at the start of turn, and then 35% more after performing a super attack or something. Even if you made it conditional, like, please, like, please. Let's see. Additional attack plus 50% and high chance to perform a critical hit with 7 or more key spheres obtained. This is fine. We didn't have too much trouble getting this throughout the video. There was a couple times where we weren't able to get it. But the nice thing is that this is mostly just offense, so it's not really going to be a huge deal. Where we actually do need the 7 key spheres, though, is down here. So, they do give tournament participants category allies 2 key and 35% attack and defense. That is very nice. And then if you get 7 key spheres, they give an additional 1 key and 17 attack and 18% defense. So, for a total of, what is that, 52% attack and 53% defense. That's obviously very good, in addition to their unit super. Remember that these are 2 separate, like, these are 2 different phases, right? So, like, this is in the super attack phase, and then this is in the start of turn phase. So, that you know, that's good. And then if there's a Goku on the same turn, if they're a Goku attacking in the same turn, you get an additional 59% attack when performing a super attack, and you get a Scouter. So, again, you want a Goku around, but you also want an Android unit to activate these really good links down here. Again, Android Assault, look at that, goes from 10% defense to 20% defense with 2 key. Twin Terrors goes from 2 key to 2 key, 5% attack and defense, and dodge. You know, Infinite Energy goes from 2 key to 2 key, 5% crit, attack and defense. You know, you get the point, right? 5% attack, or 5% defense, 7% attack and defense. Like, you see, like, pretty much all of their links right here, like 5 of their 7 links or something, give additional defense whenever it's at level 10. So it's very important that you get these guys link leveled if you are going to summon and obtain them. We went over their active skill already. Again, it doesn't really do anything other than just, like, play their OST. If you ever get to use this 8 times in a battle, let me know. I'm just curious. Send me a video or something of you guys doing this 8 times in battle. These are their categories, and then these are their 200% leaders. It's pretty sparse over here. This is obviously not very good, right? So, and then these are their best linking partners. As you guys know with the Android units, their best linking partners are just going to be other Android units. That's just the way it's always been. So let me know what you guys think. They do have a farmable super attack with the friend summon unit. This is just on the friend point banner. So if you want to save Kais, you can do that. That's always smart. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you summoned for them. Let me know if you thought the title was clickbait, and I will catch you guys next time.